Now we will see certain properties of analytic function. Let me again remind you that analytic function are functions which are differentiable at a point and is also differentiable at the neighborhood of the point. The necessary condition for a function f of z to be analytic is it has to satisfy the Cauchy-Riemann equations, namely dou u by dou x is equal to dou v by dou y, and dou u by dou y is equal to minus dou v by dou x. And approximately we have 5 properties of analytic function. But out of those 5 properties, only one is very important from the application point of view. The other properties are the mathematical properties of an analytic function. Suppose if we are given with an analytic function f of z is equal to u plus iv, and if the real part, namely u, is a constant, then the entire analytic function is also constant. So u is taken as some constant c, and when I find the partial derivative of u with respect to x and y, you know that dou u by dou x is 0 and dou u by dou y is also 0. While deriving the CR equations, we would have also calculated the derivative of f of z, and this f dash of z is represented as in two ways. It is represented in two ways. One such representation is f dash of z is equal to dou u by dou x plus I dou v by dou x. Because f of z is analytic, I can write dou v by dou x as minus dou u by dou y, and in that case f dash of z will be dou u by dou x minus I dou u by dou x, and already we have calculated the partial derivatives of u with respect to x and y, which are 0. So we get f dash of z is equal to 0. From that we get f of z is equal to some constant c. And of course here I have differentiated with u to be small c and capital, and f of z is some constant capital C. And similarly, when the imaginary part of an analytic function is constant, then the entire analytic function is also constant. The proof will be similar to the proof of property 1. Here instead of u is equal to c, we take v is equal to c, and the partial derivatives of v with respect to x and y are 0, And as usual, we write f dash of z is equal to dou u by dou x plus I dou v by dou x. I have to replace dou u by dou x in terms of partial derivative of v, and of course f of z is analytic, hence dou u by dou x is equal to dou v by dou y, and f dash of z in terms of partial derivatives of v is dou v by dou y plus I dou v by dou x, and that turns out to be 0, and therefore f of z is again a constant. When the real part or the imaginary part of f of z is constant, then the entire analytic function is constant. And similarly, you can also try this as a practice problem, but of course here I have not included it as one of the property. This will also form the same lines as property 1 and 2. If an analytic function has got constant moduli, then the entire analytic function is constant. That is, when we have f of z as u plus iv and u squared plus v squared is equal to constant, then you have to show that f of z is equal to u plus iv is also constant. The proof for this will be in the same lines as we proved property 1 and 2. Now for the third property, which is again important from the mathematical point of view, that an analytic function is independent of conjugate of z. We all know what is conjugate of z. If I assume z as x plus iy, then conjugate of z will be x minus iy. And if I have an analytic function, I have to show that it is independent of conjugate of z. That is, an analytic function cannot be of the form z bar, because it should not contain z bar. So that is the meaning. So if I want to show that the analytic function is independent of z bar, and if I assume the analytic function as w is equal to f of z, then I have to show that dw by dz bar is equal to 0. So I will be using the chain rule of the partial derivatives. Now suppose if I assume w as a function of z and z bar, or instead of directly assuming like this, you will have like this: w as a function of u and v. W is equal to u plus iv. U and v are functions of x and y, and I can replace this x and y in terms of z and conjugate of z as x is equal to z plus z bar whole divided by 2, and y as z minus z bar whole divided by 2y. So w will be a function of u and v. U and v are functions of x and y. X and y are in turn functions of z and complement of z. if I want to show that the analytic function W is independent of Z bar, I have to prove dW by dZ bar is equal to 0. So using the chain rule of the partial derivatives, I will be evaluating dW by dZ bar. I have assumed W as U plus IV. So dW by dZ bar will be du by dZ bar plus I into dV by dZ bar. W is a function of U and V. U and V in turn are functions of X and Y. X and Y are in turn a function of Z and Z bar. So I can replace this dW by dZ bar as dou U by dou X into dou X by dou Z bar plus dou U by dou Y into dou Y by dou Z bar. U is a function of X and Y. X and Y are in turn functions of Z and Z bar. So your du by dz bar is replaced with partial derivative, sum of the products of partial derivatives. And similarly, v is a function of x and y. X and y are in turn functions of z and z bar. So dv by dz bar will be dou v by dou x into dou x by dou z bar plus dou v by dou y into dou y by dou z bar. Dou x by dou z bar is 1 by 2. Dou y by dou z bar will be minus 1 by 2y. That will give you dw by dz bar as dou u by dou x into 1 by 2 plus dou u by dou y into minus 1 by 2 plus I times 1 by 2 of 1 by 2 into dou v by dou x minus 1 by 2i into dou v by dou y. When I group the terms containing 1 by 2 and 1 by 2i and using the property of an analytic function, namely an analytic function should satisfy the CR equations. So I can replace minus dou v by dou x as plus I into dou v by dou x, and dou u by dou x is written as such, and when I just simplify it, that gives you the answer 0. So as said earlier that this property 3, namely an analytic function is independent of z bar, is an important property. Now while moving to the fourth property, and as I told you, this property 4 is important from the physical point of view because it has got lot of applications. If you take the analytic function f of z is equal to u plus iv, then the family of curves u is equal to a and v is equal to b cut each other orthogonally. This will be used in streamlines and in electromagnetic forces, which we will be discussing as a separate lecture later. So now we will be proving this mathematically, that is the family of curves u of x comma y is equal to a, some constant, and v of x comma y is equal to b, again b is a constant. The two family of curves cut each other orthogonally. That is, when I keep on varying the values of constant a, I get a different member in the family u. And similarly, when I replace the value of constant b with different values, I get each member in the family v is equal to b. So one member in the family u is equal to a, and one member in the family v is equal to b cut each other orthogonally. So you know that when the two curves cut orthogonally, the angle between them is 90. Or in other words, the product of the slopes should be -1. So what we do is we calculate the slope of the curve u is equal to a. For that, using the property of total derivative, we get du is equal to dou u by dou x into dx plus dou u by dou y into dy. Since u is equal to a constant, du will be 0. So you get 0 is equal to dou u by dou x into dx plus dou u by dou y into dy. And from that, we can find the slope dy by dx, which will be negative of dou u by dou x divided by dou u by dou y, which is represented as equation A. Similarly, using the same approach, namely finding the total derivative of v, we get the slope of the curve v is equal to b as minus dou v by dou x whole divided by dou v by dou y, which is represented as equation B. And I have already told you, in order to prove that the family of curves cut each other orthogonally, I have to prove that the product of the slope is -1. So now what I do is I calculate m1 and m2 from equation 1 and 2. And when I use the CR equations, as you know that f of z is analytic, using the CR equations, dou u by dou x will be dou v by dou y, and dou u by dou y is equal to minus dou v by dou x. When I use the CR equations, I get the product of the slopes to be -1. And therefore, I can conclude that the family of curves u is equal to a and v is equal to b cut each other orthogonally. Now, property 5 states that an analytic function w, if I take an analytic function w is equal to f of z, which is u plus iv, then the real and imaginary parts satisfy the Laplace equation. What is Laplace equation? Del squared phi is equal to 0. That is dou squared phi by dou x squared plus dou squared phi by dou y squared is equal to 0. Here, the real and imaginary part satisfy the Laplace equation. So dou squared u by dou x squared plus dou squared u by dou y squared is 0. And similarly, dou squared v by dou x squared plus dou squared v by dou y squared is also 0. This will represent an heat equation with certain conditions. This again we will be discussing it in the application part. Because f of z is analytic, it satisfies the CR equations which are given here. So from dou u by dou x is equal to dou v by dou y, I can calculate dou squared u by dou x squared by again differentiating it partially to get dou squared u by dou x squared is equal to dou squared v by dou x dou y. And similarly, when I differentiate dou u by dou y partially with respect to y again, I get dou squared u by dou y squared is equal to minus dou squared v by dou y dou x. Usually in partial derivatives, dou squared v by dou x dou y and dou squared v by dou y dou x need not be equal. They need not be equal. But here they are equal because f of z is analytic. If f of z is analytic, then f of z is differentiable. When f of z is differentiable, then automatically f of z is continuous. And when f of z is continuous, then automatically u and v are continuous. Because u and v are continuous, the partial derivatives dou squared v by dou x dou y and dou squared v by dou y dou x are same because they are continuous function. V and u are continuous functions. And therefore when I find the sum of dou squared u by dou x squared and dou squared u by dou y squared, I get the value as 0. Similarly, when I differentiate dou v by dou x and dou v by dou y partially with respect to x and y, and using the arguments that I have given just now, I can prove or I can get dou squared v by dou x squared plus dou squared v by dou y squared is equal to 0. And from that, I can conclude that the real and imaginary part of an analytic function satisfies the CR equations. So as a summary of the content that has been given to you in this lecture, we discussed about the 5 properties of an analytic function. And of course, I had given you a problem which follows the lines of property 1 and 2. What is property 1? Namely, the real part of an analytic function is constant, then the entire function is a constant. The second property is if the imaginary part is constant, then the entire analytic function is also constant. On similar lines, if the modulus of an analytic function is constant, then you have to show that the analytic function is also constant, which you can take it as property 2a. The third important property is an analytic function is independent of z bar, and the fourth one is the family of curves u is equal to a and v is equal to b, where u and v are real and imaginary part of an analytic function, cut each other orthogonally. And the last property is the real and imaginary part of an analytic function satisfies the Laplace equation.